Morning. It's Friday. I'm excited. I'm excited for Friday. And I'm excited for coffee. Remembered the salt this time. And here we go. And 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Friday, June the 26th, 2020. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. It's good. You know what I miss? Going out to breakfast. Not that I do it that often, but I haven't been out to breakfast in couldn't even tell you how many months. I miss traveling, going out, being somewhere that's not right here. I love my house. I love this place. But still. I haven't slept anywhere but my own bed in a long time. That's not normal. Tournaments and seminars and everything. Everything that was rescheduled for the summer is getting canceled. It's really a bummer. You're fine. She's very fussy this morning. She woke me up at, I don't know, the sun was barely coming over the horizon. So, what's that, 4 something? 3:45? Gave her food. She has food. She's just in a mood. She's fussy. So yesterday, I helped my client pack up their office. We brought a bunch of their files here. They're going to have to get digitized. Fortunately, that's not my job. I'm just storing them. And I was just walking around moving stuff all day. That's all I did. By the time I was done for my day, I had 16,000 steps. A normal day for me is like 8, 7, 6 to 8, we'll say. I'm happy when I break 10. And yeah, by the time lunch rolled around, I was at like 12. It's just, what? What's your issue? Can anyone hear the fussy cat? Why are you being a pain? Come sit. Come sit. Come be the co-host. What else? Had pizza for dinner. Watched some TV. Unpacked a bunch of other stuff that she was getting rid of. That I now have extra computers and whatnot. It's crazy. I need a day here to clean up, but I gotta go back. And I'm behind on email, and I'm behind on client work, and I don't even have a desk to sit at to work at anymore. I don't like it. I tried to get Ada going up today. She said she needed me. Someone says they need you, you help them out. So, I know what's going on today, more of the same. And then, depending on logistics this evening, probably go to the gym. Tomorrow, well, Sunday's supposed to be bad weather. It's supposed to have rain all day, which means no working outside, which means I'm going to do that tomorrow. There's a bunch of outdoor projects I wanna get to. Everything's grown in. The grapevines are all over the place. I gotta trim those. There's a lot of plants there. And She's just being a pill. Zuza, come here. She has feline dementia. And it's moments like this that I think maybe she doesn't know what's going on. The joys of an older pet. Come here. Got some good feedback on yesterday's episode, the episode on the opportunity coming as homeschooling increases. Not a lot of people paying attention to that one. It's interesting. You know, there are topics that we cover that get a lot of traction. Others, no, and I'm not sure why. I'm really, some of them are obvious. Others not so much. I wanted to buy a cheap patio set to throw out on the deck, but my car was full of file boxes, so I couldn't do that. You know where the file boxes are going? In the warehouse. All the storage that I set up for whistlekick products that we don't use anymore. Alright, let's see what y'all wrote in. Y'all. I've been saying y'all a lot lately. I am not from the South, but I like the word. It's faster than saying you all. Big fan of the contraction. Alright, today we've got some stuff courtesy of Frank. Thanks as always to Frank. The jokes for Funday Friday. I haven't come up with any Pringles jokes yet, but when I do, we'll have to see how they stack up. Did you see what they did to the Olive Bar? It's the pits. I asked how the produce manager was. She said she was peachy. The first two are Frank Wood originals. Well, I'll tell you, Frank, the Pringles joke, that's solid. That's a good joke right there. I enjoy one-liners. I think one-liners are a little bit harder to pull off. They require more timing in the delivery, and you got to be a little more clever because it's a fixed idea, and then it has to have two meanings. You know, that kind of I would say double entendre, which works, but I tend to think of that as sexualized double meaning. I like one-liners. And not the Rodney Dangerfield style one-liners. The one-liners that are a little more intelligent, like this. You know, you've got to understand what's going on. You've got to have a grasp of the vocabulary. Even today, I dare not say that I've reached a state of achievement. I'm still learning, for learning is boundless. Bruce Lee. I've told this story before, I think. So growing up, my karate school, I want to say very traditional, but honestly probably not in many ways, but in good ways. It was very open-minded and yet very traditional. And one of the ways it was very traditional was that it was hard to progress in rank. Nothing was just handed out. The first black belt we had was, I think, 4+ years after he started, and he already had, I think, a brown belt in a previous school. And he trained constantly. So that gives you an idea. I mean, this was really difficult school. Sousa, you're fine. And when he earned his black belt, I remember being there with my mother. So I would have been 9, 10, somewhere in that range. And she asked him, so now that you're a black belt, what does it feel like? And he said, you realize how much you don't know. And that stuck with me. And it's so completely true. But I'm not sure that everyone looks at it positively. If you love to learn, if you love to get better at things, it's a wonderful thing because it means there's so much opportunity. You can learn. You can really get out there and discover so much about martial arts. But not everyone's comfortable learning, which is a shame. A lot of people build their self-worth and their position in life around how much they know and their standing. And what's happening? Do you want to come sit? Come here. Come here. There's a fussy cat right here. Come here. Come sit with me. Come sit with me. Stop complaining. We're doing a show. We're doing a show right now. You're interrupting. Yeah. I don't think she's going to settle. We're trying. Oh, she's running away. She's in a mood. Now she's sitting in her box. But if you look at what that says about people, if you've got to know everything and you've got to be the best and you've got to establish yourself in your pecking order and that's how you determine your self-worth, it says that there's a lot of work to be done, a lot of growth. And if martial arts is about growth, they're missing the point. That's why I have a really hard time, let's say, in social media when not everyone, but many of the martial artists I see are using their titles, or I even see people using their dan ranks, their stripes, their degrees. You know, title so and so 7th degree. Come on. Do you make the person at the grocery store call you Shihan or Master? There's always more to learn. There's always a lot more to learn. Ask yourself what problem you have right now. Not next year, tomorrow, or 5 minutes from now. You can always cope with now, but you can never cope with the future, nor do you have to. The answer, the strength, and the right action will be there when you need it, not before or after. Eckhart Tolle. I expect from the book, The Power of Now. It's his most famous book. It's an interesting idea. The concept of now, living in the moment, being present, however you want to look at it, it's an important one. And it's one that I think we are culturally challenged. We're constantly reminded of what is happening in the future and what has happened in the past, and it's really easy to gloss over now. And there are a couple reasons for that. But the foremost one is that all we really have is memories, right? I can be present here, but everything that determines where I'm at right now happened in the past. It's why, as an aside, the scariest thing I can imagine is losing my memory. Let me sneeze. Ooh, excuse me. But I can't change the past. I can't control it. All I can do is learn from it and try to move on. But now, I have control now. Right now, do I drink more coffee or do I use this hand to stop broadcasting or do I scratch my nose? I have near infinite control over what happens right now. And if I take things one at a time, I can get through it. I've been increasingly more open about the fact that I deal with some anxiety, a little bit of depression stuff. And it used to be crippling, but here I am, I'm 41, and I've learned a lot of coping mechanisms. And one of them, when it gets really, really bad, when I feel incredibly overwhelmed, which professionally there are some overwhelming things going on right now, I cut back the time frame that I worry about. If you came to me right now and said, Jeremy, what are you doing with whistlekick in the next 20 years? That's overwhelming. Jeremy, what are you doing with whistlekick over the next few months? Much less overwhelming. Jeremy, what are you doing with whistlekick today? That I can handle. Sometimes I can't handle that. Sometimes it's the next hour. Sometimes it's the next minute. And the more you cut it up, the more you get to, what are you doing right now? Because all you have to worry about is right now. The future is not unfolded yet. Why worry about it? If you handle the present properly, the future isn't an issue. What's the purpose of the past? To help us understand what to do now. Right, Kat? You feeling better? I think she's gonna come sit down. I don't really want you on me. This is a very thin robe, and you claw things. No, you can't have my coffee. Why don't you sit right here? Worry about now. Our obsession with the future, and I am as guilty of this as anyone. Obsession with planning and organization and calendars and all of that. It's an attempt to control, and it comes from a place of fear. It really does. The majority, most of it. You can plan things out in a positive way, in a loving way, but it's usually out of fear. It's a fear I'm not going to get enough done. It's a fear that I'm going to do the wrong thing. It's a fear that I'm not being productive enough, and there are voices from my childhood in my ear telling me, you could have done more. Yeah, it's all really real stuff. I wouldn't have expected an Eckhart Tolle quote to take me there. One more for today. If you always put limit on everything you do, physical or anything else, it will spread into your work and into your life. There are no limits. There are only plateaus, and you must not stay there. You must go beyond them. Bruce Lee. Limits exist only in mathematics, physics. There's always more toothpaste in the tube. You can always do one more punch. You can always try a little bit harder. You can always run a little bit further. It depends on your motivation. Just trying to get under a blanket, it's not working well. It's just going to be annoying. Hold on. I'm ready. There you go, Kat. Honestly, that's for me more than her, because she's going to be distracting. Imagine, let's take a math, more of a concrete example. Let's say you've done 100 kicks, and your leg's tired, and you don't want to pick it up again, and you think, I can't pick it up again, and somebody pops up and they say, hey, here's $1,000 if you do one more kick. It's yours. You'll find a way to throw one more kick, won't you? And what if somebody says, every additional kick you throw, I'll give you $1,000. You will kick until your leg doesn't work. And then you'll get to a point where you say, I can't do it. And then they say, okay, how about $1,000,000? If you find a way to throw one more kick, I'll give you $1,000,000. You'll find a way to throw another kick. We like to define these limits for us because it helps us understand our place in the world. If I can only do this, and I can't do that, and I can't go there, and I can't, 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 then what's left is pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And I know my place in the world. It's scary to not know your place in the world. It's scary to not know where you can go. Because when you have all these options, you can go anywhere. And if we go back to the first quote, when you realize how much you don't know, it can be either very scary, because how do you define who you are, where you are, if there's no fixed points to relate to? Or it can be exciting, it can be an opportunity. And that's what I hope you'll take away from today, is that there is an infinite amount of, let's try that word again, an infinite amount of opportunity available to you in your training, outside of your training, life, family, relationships. It's all there. It's all there for the pursuit. I'm not going to say for the taking, but for the pursuit. Let's say you've been training in karate for 25 years and you love it and you're happy. Great. And let's say you try kendo and you do it for 6 months and say, this isn't for me. I don't like this. Still makes you better. Still gives you experiences. Still helps you understand things better. It was a good use of that time. What's wrong with that? People are so afraid of making the wrong decision because there's so many options out there that they will artificially block off pathways. They say, I can't do that, I can't do that, I can't do that. I don't have time for that. That's the one most people use. We all have the same 24 hours. If you tell me you don't have time to do this 10-minute thing, what you're actually saying is, I'm not willing to find 10 minutes because it's not important to me. Well, no, Jeremy, my day is really, it's that full, there isn't 10 minutes. If it was important to you, you would sleep 10 minutes less. It's always 10 minutes. There's always 15 minutes. If there was $1 million on the line, you'd find an hour. There's always more. And there's power in choice. If you take a look at how you spend your time, it shows you your priorities. So instead of saying, I can't do that, I don't have time, I can't do that, I can't afford it, I can't do that, I'm not healthy enough, fit enough, I don't know anybody. Instead of saying can't, admit, I'm afraid to do that. My financial situation, I don't think it's a responsible choice for me to go spend money on that. I'm worried that if I do this, it'll have consequences over here. There's power in choice. So take that power. Own that choice. And don't lie to yourself by saying, I can't, I don't, I shouldn't. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful weekend. I hope whatever it is you do is stuff you choose to do. And if not, I hope you find some choice in there. I hope you take the power of that choice and some ownership of what's going on and where you're at. And do at least something that brings you some joy, something fun. Like I said, tomorrow, I've got a bunch of stuff I want to do outside. There's a spot that At some point I should record a video of my outdoor space and show everyone. There's a stretch on a small hill where it's becoming overgrown. And I wasn't sure what to do with it, and now I can see it. It's so tightly overgrown, it's going to make a great wall. It blocks the road, and I'm going to trim it back so it doesn't have stuff sticking out of the wall. It's a flat wall. It's kind of neat. And so I'm looking forward to doing that tomorrow. And the weather's going to be good. I'll sit on the deck, maybe have my first cup of coffee, and enjoy my space. Hope you do something that makes you as happy as that. Make sure you leave me some questions, some comments, some things to respond to for Monday, please. More the better. Appreciate it. There's a bird right outside. Remember, we do this show every weekday, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, here on YouTube. Subscribe, turn on notifications so you get stuff about this show and every other show that we do. We're working on stuff for Whistlekick Live for the next one, which is coming July 7th. I think that's the first Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. All right. I'm going to go. And if you want to support what we do here at Whistlekick, go to whistlekick.com, buy something, use the code FirstCup15, or go to patreon.com, patreon.com/whistlekick, and make a contribution. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all that you do to make this world better. Take care. Peace.